Hi guys, and welcome back to the channel. I've never featured this brand before. This is a Baume Mercier watch. Now this is actually part of their Riviera range of watches. This is the 10617 and I think it's a bit of a looker, to be fair. I really quite like the look of this one. It feels very, very, very premium and looks the part too. It's quite a cool watch, and it's, I say, a brand I've never touched before, even though this brand has been around for way over 100 years. They were an independent for almost the first 100 years, give or take, and then in the late 80s I believe they became part of the Richemont group, and it's one of their more premium range of watches, or one of their most premium brands, I should say, because this definitely has that very kind of solid, really kind of, it feels the part, if that makes sense. But before I get too far into this review, I've got to say a massive thank you to the team over at First Class Watches for allowing me to review this one. They've got loads of stock, so many interesting brands, right down from, Citizen all the way up to some very, very premium stuff. If you're in the Midlands area, well, recommend popping along to their Kenilworth shop. If you're further afield, well, don't worry, I'll leave a link in the description below and at the bottom of the page. Now, all I ask is that please mention the channel when you do so. So anyway, let's talk sizes first of all of this. This one is coming in at 41.5mm, a thickness of only 10.6mm, I think it was, a lug to lug of 49.5, and the strap size on this one's a bit awkward because it's it mates into the actual case, but it's coming at 25mm. The dial is really, really cool on this. Obviously we have this transparent dial and you get to see that lovely movement below. It really does look quite premium because you've got these really nice hour markers going on there, the Roman numerals at the top there, and just how they've applied them. It looks really, really good. The actual, let's move these hands around, the hands themselves are decorated, just polished beautifully. They've got the spine running through the centre there with the loom in there. Now the loom on this watch does look good. I wouldn't say it lasts particularly long, but it really does look good when it is lit up. I like the way that you can see part of the actual movement under there. This transparent dial actually has like a wave pattern, it looks like, on it. My only downside, I would say, with this is unfortunately the dial feet, which is a part which actually locates the dial to the movement, are somewhat visible. It would have been nice if they could have either, for my own personal taste, either placed them at the top or bottom or whatever, but the only problem is normally with the movement they've got a preset hole designated for it, and unfortunately it looks so cool, but they always stick out as these kind of spots. But I am being super picky. Overall, I think it looks great. It's nice how you can see the whole date through there, and obviously you just see the white come through with the window. It is a very classy looking watch, I think. Now, as we come past that, we've got this nice sapphire crystal with AR coating on there. As you can see, it does a really good job of getting rid of most of the reflections there. And then we come round to this, what is it, an octagon, is it? Kind of style bezel on there. It really does look good. You have these actual, I don't know if they're proper what, no, it looks like they are actually. It looks like they do screw all the way through, so which locks the whole bezel to the watch. It does look really nice how they've done it, and then you've got these nice chamfered edges going on there. Now, as we come past that, the actual body of the watch is, dare I say, it's just nice and simple. There's no kind of curves. They've kept it, with the angles on the front, they've tried to mimic the same here. You do have a slight bit of an angle, radius going on there rather than an actual angle, but it's really nice how they've done this. So it really sits down nicely on the wrist. Being that it is only 10.6mm, it has no problem with that anyway. And as you come round to this side, you have the sign crown there, and you have this little exposed bit. So it looks like what they do is cover, they've got this, they call it, I think it's it's basically a DLC coating. So what they do with that is heat up the metal and then actually use it, I think it's like a diamond paste as such, which sprayed onto there, and it actually becomes part of the surface. How well it lasts in realistic terms, You know, it can be scratched, obviously, but sometimes watches like this can look really good with a few battle scars on them, I always find anyway. But the crown, as I say, it looks like they cover the crown first and then machine in this little groove there, so you get a nice little shiny bit there, which also helps if you need to put your nails in there to actually pull the crown out. It hasn't got a screw down crown. It goes straight into hand wind, but it is obviously hacking, as you can see, and it is incredibly smooth. I must say, this is an in-house movement, and it is actually very, very smooth. The cannon pinion there is, whoa, very smooth. As we come round to the back, one thing I should mention is it does have water resistance of 100 meters, which is more than enough for most people ever gonna need. On the back, you have a beautiful view of their movement there, and the movement is the BM13 1975A. It's a chronometer spec movement. I did put it on the time graph and I think it was pulling, I think it was about average plus 3 seconds. So well within chronometer specs there. But as you can also tell from the front, what it says, it's a 5-day movement. So the power reserve of this is 120 hours. Now, I don't know how many turns of a crown you need to actually get it that far, but you know, they have got 120 hours out of this one. It's a 21 jewel movement, and it does also feature a silicon escapement and pallet fork. So, and it has been skeletonized out, which obviously lightens it, makes it a little bit more efficient. I'd love to have a strip one down and see what it looks like, but there you go. So nice little thing to have on their spec list. Now, if I put this on my wrist, get an idea how it looks. Let's zoom out there. Oh, sorry, before I do, let me talk about the strap. The strap on this is actually like a rubber strap coming around here, or a silicone strap. It is actually quite nice. It looks like they have a quick release system. Let's see if I can do this, he says, because I've never done it before. There you go. So that is how you release it. It looks like a nice little system they have there. It's a sprung system which actually locks into the case of a watch. How does it go back in? I'm not 100% sure. There we go, unlocks in. So really nice, it feels very, very secure. The actual clasp on this is a butterfly style clasp, but they've done it quite well actually, because what they've done, and it's such a simple but clever system, they actually have, let's see if I can zoom in so you can see this. They have a spring bar on the back which simply locks into these holes here, but they've actually done it exposed, so you have it, it just, normally it'd be covered over, but it's quite interesting how, oh sorry, if I can zoom in, it's quite interesting how they've actually done this here. So you can actually just pull that back and adjust it. It's a nice simple way of doing it. It's kind of almost on the fly adjustment, you could say, but something a little bit different. So anyway, let me put it on my wrist, got an idea how it looks. Quick wrist check. I'm wearing a Seiko SKX 007, one I swapped a movement in about a year ago, I think. And Bob has an Aquastar on there, which is actually quite a nice watch. Now my wrist size is 7¼ inches, and look how much strap you get actually on this. It is, God, that would cater up to what, 8.5-inch wrist with ease, and I think it looks superb. So I say I've got about 18.5 centimeter wrist size, and it looks really good. You can see how low it sits on the wrist there, being that thin. Overall, I think it is a great looking sports watch, and I believe as well the warranty on many of these here, you can get up to 8 years, which is truly very, very impressive. So anyway, let me know what you think of this one. I personally like this one. I think it looks really good. I know they have many other models in their range, and I might feature a couple more because I do quite like the look of them. Anyway guys, I'll leave you to it, but most importantly, stay safe out there. Take care. Bye.